Excuse me, I drink that Sprite Zero too fast. We won. I'm as happy as I can possibly be. It wasn't very pretty, and Wake struggled, and so did we. We shoot 26% in the second half, so everybody shows up at my weekly press conference and talks about what a great shooting team we are. Remember, don't ask me that freaking question anymore. Bryce, 27 and 11 out of 12 from the free throw line. Defensively, we created some turnovers early, and that gave us a little confidence, and we had 10 or 12 point lead, and we had it 20. A few times I looked up the score. I think we had it 25 or something, 24 at one point. We turned it over 3 of the next 4 possessions, but we didn't practice very well this week. And so, as a coaching viewpoint, I'm glad we didn't play well. Maybe we'll learn something, practice better before we play at Virginia Tech on Sunday. Tomorrow's off, and so we got to come back Friday and Saturday and have great practices and get a heck of a lot better. Brad Frederick just gave me a stat. They had 17 field goals in the second half and 14 of them were layups. I'm tired of those guys on TV talking about how good North Carolina is, and that their defense is not very good. I'd like to get a plane and fly around the nation and say you're exactly right, but I'm tired of listening to it. Other than that, guys, boy, I'm glad it's not Christmas Eve.
Boy, how can you tell in practice when things are not to your liking? What's an example of
It was, anybody that's ever breathed and walked a step could watch us in practice this week because we did nothing good. Some way, somehow, we've got to get better habits in practice, better effort in practice. On Monday at practice, I got mad at them at the end, and we decided to see if any of us would qualify for the track team. It didn't make me feel any better either, but it's pretty easy when you watch us practice this week how bad we were in practice.
When you have a guy who's been as good as Marcus has been for you, who's shooting the way he is, do you just leave him alone and let him shoot his way out of it, or what do you do?
I don't know. I guess they pay me a lot of money to say I don't know, but I've never had a player that I've had more confidence in my entire life than Marcus Page, but the ball's not going in the basket right now, but he is doing some other things. I don't know what he had, 1 for 8, 0 for 5, 2 assists, 0 for 4 steals. He was active defensively, but I got in foul trouble, made some silly fouls too. Didn't play very well, but I'm telling you the truth. I've never had a player in 28 years as a head coach that I've got more confidence in than I do Marcus. So I'm going to go get a crystal ball and put a wig on and some incense. Is that what it is? Smoke stuff. See if I can go chant something and figure it out.
Have you had a guy of his caliber go through something like this before?
Right now, I got a whole team of guys going through it. They're just not at his caliber.
How disappointing is that, given that this is a veteran team? This isn't like freshman soccer.
4 guys before tonight's game, they've had a stretch where we're 7 for 51, and so Justin's 4 for 13, Marcus 1 for 8, maybe 2 for 6, Theo 1 for 3, so we didn't help it a heck of a lot tonight. But, you know, you can't act like it's not there. We've got to shoot the ball in the hole. But I'm more disappointed about the defensive end of the floor and that kind of stuff. Shooting, you know, sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes it doesn't. And kids will work at it. We'll get in some good work this week, but we've got to be better defensively than 17 field goals and 14 of them layups.
Has the defense generally made improvements over the last month or so?
Yeah. I even told him today I thought that we were getting better defensively, but he didn't show it in the last couple of days of practice. But and the toughest thing is they're wonderful, wonderful kids, wonderful human beings. I'd like to get really mad at them. It's hard to do that. They're such good kids, but we got to play better. And we called Danny's group where they just didn't. And I don't want to talk for Danny, but I would guess that he didn't think they played very well either. 19 turnovers, and I guess we got 21 points off turnovers. So it's, you look at their team against Virginia Tech, they shot 59% and lost because of turnovers. Against Syracuse, they shot 42 free throws in the game and still lost by a big margin. And if you look at the one stat that's really been killing them, again, I shouldn't even talk about Danny's team, but point turnovers and points off turnovers has really killed them the last 3 games.
You were able to get the ball inside pretty good. Of course, you had to with what you were shooting outside.
Yeah. And Bryce, 8 for 12, but Kennedy tiptoed it up there tonight instead of exploding up. Isaiah twisted and turned too much instead of exploding up. But You know, I'm sitting here complaining, we've been all right, but my goals are pretty doggone high.
Does it-
And standards are pretty high in how we practice, and we didn't meet that this week.
Is there still a sense of satisfaction to win relatively comfortably despite shooting less
No.
than 40%?
And it may be for them, but it's, satisfaction is not part of my language right now. Nowhere close.
Anybody else? All right, thank you.
Nick Jagger, it's satisfaction.